So I just saw Pacific Rim Uprising, and it actually wasn't terrible. It was still garbage, but it wasn't terrible, and that is a good thing. How was it not terrible? Well, honestly, the fight scenes saved this movie. The fight scenes were great. I actually had a really good time watching those. They did some really creative things with the Jaegers versus the monsters. It was pretty dope. And one thing that I liked was that they continued, like the first movie, showing what was happening inside of the Jaegers with the pilots, kind of like how they're dodging the attacks and everything that the monsters are throwing at them. I thought that was super cool, and it just kind of keeps you invested in what's going on. Because a lot of times with these CG movies, like Transformers, it starts looking like garbage cans rolling around on screen, and it actually did look like that for a moment at the beginning of the movie. It had like some robot on robot action. It didn't work for me. But when they started, finding the monsters and actually showing what was going on inside the hatch for the pilots, I thought that was super cool. They also have some really interesting creature designs in this movie, which is like super dope. They don't usually know how to create a very interesting monster on film. I'm not really sure why. But in this movie, I really enjoyed how the monsters looked. They looked scary. They looked gross. I didn't want them there. I wanted the pilots to defeat them, to kill them. So I thought that worked 100%. If they could make more monsters like this in other movies, I feel like people would be more interested in going to see a monster movie, because we want to see a monster that looks gross, a monster that looks terrifying, a monster that we want to see defeated. So I feel like they did a fantastic job there. Now, as far as character development and actual story, that's where this movie kind of crumbles, because the story doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, it does, but it's really simple and it's really predictable. You kind of know where things are going, like, way before it happens. There's something that's supposed to be like a big, huge twist that I figured out long before they revealed it on screen. And it didn't make for an entertaining film. Also, the characters themselves were not really likable. John Boyega did a great job as his character, but as far as like everyone else surrounding him, I felt like they were just kind of throw-ins, and it was just kind of, it was stupid. I'm sorry. It was stupid. But then again, what do you expect from a movie like this? It's a movie about giant robots fighting creatures from the sea. You can't really expect it to be like Academy Award worthy or anything. So for what it was, this movie was pretty dope. I do feel like they could have done better in the character area or in the story area, kind of like the first one, because the first one was entertaining, but it also had a pretty decent story. And I feel like that has to do with just some of the better actors that were in that movie, like Idris Elba and Charlie Hunnam. They just did a better job at kind of making you believe that this was a real world. They didn't really do that here. This movie, its plot just kind of felt rushed, so didn't work for me. CG was amazing though. The effects were out of this world. I feel like they really put a lot of effort into the CG. The Jaegers looked awesome. The monsters looked awesome. That was great. But yeah, that's what I thought. Is it worth your money though? I think it depends on what you like going to the movie to see. If you like just a stupid, dumb time, fantastic movie to go see. If you are not into movies with like literally no plot whatsoever and just fight scenes and CG, it's probably not for you. If you're not a fan of Transformers, you're probably not going to like this movie, even though it is better. It's better than Transformers, but it's not too much better. So you're probably not going to like it. If you saw Pacific Rim Uprising, let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you didn't, you might want to stay away from this one. I know that sucks to hear, but it was entertaining, but it may not be worth the money.